Ahoy!
Ahoy! Happy Animorning! Good Animorning! Tibbs was right. The sound of Skype when we approach. So how is everybody? How was everybody's Valentine's Day? Like a regular day? Ours was pretty much like a regular day. Except it involved us getting coffee.
That was nice.
Yeah. Haven't had coffee in forever. But now I have. No, I had coffee yesterday. What a treat!
We went for a walk in the wind, in the rain. It was nice.
We did, we found a robin.
That's true, we did. It tried to it felt like it tried to land on my head.
I think you're just being paranoid.
It did, whooshed the back of my head.
I wasn't getting spider sense or anything in knowing that it was on the back of the bench. It literally floofed its little wings next to my head.
I don't think it was going for your head though.
No, but it flew really close to it.
See, yeah.
He was adorable though. Let me see if I can.
He was adorable. He was really adorable. Sure thing, Steiny. Steiny spent yesterday working on the feedback. Did I know that animation is really freaking hard? Yeah, I was struggling with that at the minute too. Bah! Why animation? Why can't you be easy to master? Gecko Gunner is working on their portfolio. I hope it's going well.
A bit more awkward. How come?
Oh yeah, Jake's right. That water animation had it. So good. Nice job. Aw, Tibbs. I'm so invested in your guys' relationship. It's like watching my favourite anime or soap drama for every day.
I got it.
Ooh, Hardik was making Onisonas for him and Tibbs.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, I see. I hope that collab will be out soon.
I hope all collabs will be out soon.
Including that pesky Sonic Underground one. What's happening with that?
Not so much that one. That one can wait.
Biased. It's hard to draw Whitmose. Who's Whitmose?
Is the microphone still weird?
What happened to the mic? How does it sound, Gecko?
I'm sorry about this one. Yeah.
That's okay. Mike was fiddling with it yesterday and may have done something weird to it.
I'm scared to switch off noise suppression.
What, how does it sound at the minute? Is it super muffled or something?
Let me see. I want to fix this, so.
Do you think anime is art? Yes. I think all art is art. Different, like a low quality MP3. I think Mike's trying to fix it.
Yeah. Listening into it there.
Can we not just put the same filters we had on before back on? Mike.
Not as they were before, because I just edited the same, like, can't remember what they were like before.
Ah well.
We'll switch the compressor off and see if that does anything.
Why do art teachers hate it? I don't think all art teachers hate it. I think they're just not familiar with it. They're from a generation where anime wasn't really prevalent like it is now. So they hadn't really been exposed to it much. Besides, the same teachers who have a problem with anime usually have a problem with any kind of cartoon. So it's less about it being anime, I think.
Okay, I switched the compressor back on and I switched off the noise suppression.
Okay. You guys just keep us updated on whether it sounds any better. If that's okay. What am I animating now? I'm trying to animate a shot of some water, like boiling. It's pretty tricky. I'm not really sure what I'm doing. I'm making it up as I go along, you know. It's for a Secret of Mana spin-off I'd like to do. Just for fun. In the style of Ghibli. So I'm trying to animate water in the style of Ghibli too. But again, I don't have much reference for this particular kind of Ghibli water, so it's all guesswork. It's all learning though as well. More noise, but your voices are far clearer. Well, that's helpful.
So I set the noise suppression level down to -50. Is this any better?
Has it changed again? Since Tibbs last said.
Sorry, I'm listening to you talk twice, so I can't reply to you quite. Yeah.
Okay. Can you reply to me now?
Okay. Yeah. You reckon? Okay, so -50 suppression. There's no noise gating. I could maybe turn that back on, but we'll go with this then.
Cool. Yay. Thanks, Mike.
I hit default a lot on it before, or like yesterday, and I guess it sort of starts at -30, but that doesn't sound good to us because it's between, the mic is between us, so it's suppressing more of us than it should.
Yeah. No one says, why are you guys so hidden on YouTube? Well, we're not trying to hide, we're just not very well known. But getting to be known is tough. We'll just keep making cool stuff and hope that more people notice we're doing cool stuff. That's all you can do.
Yeah.
Just keep doing you.
Make content that people think is worth sharing.
Yeah. No, stop encouraging everyone to do drugs. The only drug I want you to do is a drug of friendship.
Is that available?
Not from me. So what are you working on, Mike?
I'm either going to do a combination of figure drawing, or Bearnakedladies, or Raven King. That is my current trajectory. Feel free to nudge me in any direction that you think would be beneficial.
What do you want to do?
Just drawing and painting generally, I think.
Okay.
And I put on upbeat instrumental work music.
Whoa!
Yeah, no.
Whoa! Upbeat? Today is Violet Evergarden Day. It's true. Hooray for Violet Evergarden. Noah, you're the responsible one for once? What is this? How did this happen?
But yeah, it's interesting being. I'm going to redress this. It's interesting being asked by people that have seen us, like, why aren't you more seen? How do more people not know about you?
We don't know.
That sort of thing.
We knew.
Like, if you see any creator that you think, whoa, okay, they're pretty cool. Why do more people not know about them? If that question occurs to you, that's a very good motivator for, hey, maybe I could tell someone that I know about them and change that.
Doig is in full manager mode.
I'm just suggesting things.
I know. See, it's kind of nice being small as well.
For us, yeah.
Yeah. Because we get to hang out with people and actually get to talk to them without it being possible to see the chat, which is a big deal.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to read it without having the aid of, like, you know, the app that, like, kind of slows the chat down. So you're replying to things that were 10 minutes ago.
I didn't even know there was an app that did that.
Yeah, there is.
That would be awful though. Brave economy. Yeah, the Jury of Holgar video is great. Oh, Steiny. Thanks very much. We were having a discussion yesterday on how to better push our Patreon forward.
Yep.
So we think we're going to do some reshuffling to that, probably over the weekend. And hopefully we'll make it better.
Hopefully. I want to do better.
We all want to do better. I know though, we can do better.
We will do better.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what's going on. I've got my sliders on RGB.
Cow Kickflip by Speaker Fox or Specker Fox. Yeah, that's cool. I think there are a lot of people on YouTube who are making cool stuff but just aren't being seen. You know, you have to get lucky, I think, and be making really good stuff. Because the best way to get seen is for someone who has already been seen and is very popular, sharing or endorsing your work.
Yeah.
And for that to happen, they have to see it in the first place. And for them to see it in the first place, like, there just needs to be some kind of combination of luck and you being within their spectrum of interest. It's a little tough.
Yeah. It's hard to pin down. I mean, you can try and algorithm your way around it at the end of the day. Like, it's all about what people think.
I wouldn't know how to algorithm my way around it.
Me neither. I just mean YouTube has their search algorithms and they promote what they want to promote.
Yeah. Honestly though, like, the YouTube, it would be cool to get more people on it. That would be awesome. But the Patreon, like, is the main thing.
Yeah.
We want to push because we don't monetize anything on YouTube anyway. So Patreon is a place where we actually get the money to live and continue doing stuff.
Yeah. Well, when I was saying how we're hidden, I was meaning just in general.
Yeah. That's life, eh?
Yeah. Yeah.
The most important thing is that you're doing what you love doing and enjoying yourself. Because time enjoyed isn't time wasted, basically. I'd rather look back and be like, I'm so proud of what I did, I had a blast doing it, than be like, oh, that entire time was awful, but at least I was earning money.
Yeah.
I'd rather have a good time doing the things I love doing.
Okay, gonna do some line figure drawings.
Hey, nice. When did we get to Thursday already too? I think because I was a little bit ill at the beginning of the week, I feel like I've skipped days, you know?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, blocks of time kind of merge when you're sort of drifting between the two.
There's DLC for Hollow Knight, yay!
Oh, yeah! Is that out now? The God Glory.
I think we're bait. Or at least come. Ah, we're back!
Yeah,
Hey.
sorry about that. It was an OBS crash.
I guess we just got too enthusiastic about Hollow Knight. Yeah, we got stuck on the last boss of Grimm's Troop. Super hard.
I think if I played that a little bit more, I would have learned his timing, but it was tough.
It's a hard boss. Ain't no shame in it. Shame.
I think it might be like a memory issue or something, more than OBS itself crashing.
You mean for your computer specifically?
Yeah.
Mike's computer is kind of notorious for memory issues.
I think it's just too full of stuff.
Yeah.
Ah, thanks, Unknown.
Aw, yeah, that's really nice. Thank you. Tips, that sounds awesome though. Keep at it. I believe you can find a way to explain. Because even just like, even up to 3-point perspective, even if you only just go up to it, that would still be super useful. Clean your temp, says Hardik. You gotta clean up your act. Right?
Sorry, I was just thinking about my temp folder.
Artist problems. Sorry, I was just thinking about my temp folder.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to do that. I think I need to do like an archive or a backup of all my art, like my actual like not program files, like PSDs, my actual data, and then do some cleaning on it.
We're okay, thanks Unknown. How are you doing? I'm hoping today's going to be a productive day.
Yeah.
Genesis Noir. Okay, Gecko, we'll check it out. I mean, I really like noir films and noir games. So it sounds like it's within my interests.
What do you do with it?
I've got my fingers crossed it's a detective game.
Yeah. With a name like that, you would hope. Ooh, figure drawing's hard.
Yeah, that's true. Everything is difficult.
Don't like this.
Easy peasy, lemon difficult.
Lemon difficult.
I think my friend used to say that. Becky, I think she used to say, difficult, difficult, lemon difficult.
That's a good summary.
When you hit over 3-point perspective, the question of where to place perspective points gets a lot more floopy and distorted by lenses, and I'm not sure exactly where that puts things. I mean, you could say it gets floopy. It's difficult. Without understanding perspective myself, it's hard to know where the problems would be. I would be one of those people watching a video just trying to understand it. Just trying to understand. So what's everyone got on for today? For today, the Rad Thursday.
I got more freelance to do. And probably a couple more pages from Maddie.
Yes. Yeah, that's when straight lines stop being drawn straight. I see what you mean, like they're distorted by the distance. By the curvature of the earth. Morning, Bryony. How are you today? How's everything been going this week for you, Bryony? How's work? Oh, Bryony, you booked your JR rail pass to Japan last night.
Oh,
Good
awesome.
call. How long are you going for? Bryony, take us with you. Take us back to Japan.
I'd fit in a suitcase. I fold.
I'm flat packable. I'll fight you if I have to, Mike, for a place in that suitcase.
Why would you fight me? We're set.
10 days, but bought a 7-day pass. That's gonna do you good. It was so helpful when we were there. It makes everything much easier.
You miss it once it runs out, though.
Yeah, you gotta be careful when you use it for, because it's when you get there they stamp it for you, and they ask you what day you want it to start, like during this time period, and you have to choose wisely because it runs out like straight off as soon as the time is up. So make sure all your big trips are covered. Oh, don't be nervous. Actually, the travelling in Japan is, once you get used to it, which takes a couple of trips, it's pretty simple.
Yeah, everything's kind of signposted in English.
Mm-hmm. And all the station guards are very, very helpful. And they're always present as well. It's not like in English train stations where it's impossible to find anyone.
Whereabouts are you staying? But yeah, we found that like literally everything, every platform, everywhere, it's all signposted. There's even like marks on the floor and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Kyoto, Tokyo, and Osaka. Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah,
You'll need that pass then.
you'll be fine.
That's more or less where we went, and it was fine. The travelling was fine. Are you going with someone or just alone? And yeah, unknown, what's up?
Well, yeah. What's up, dude?
Going with 3 other people. Ah, you'll be fine then. Absolutely fine. Elle went by herself. She's a brave lady.
She went to stay with someone though.
She did. But only for a certain amount of time. Oh man, that's awesome. You guys are going to have such a blast. It's a really beautiful place.
It is, it really is. I was saying to India how it felt both closer and farther away at the same time. Like, closer to having the experience of travel there and knowing it's possible, farther away because we're not there now. Well, we want to go back.
We'll go back one day. Loads of people going to trance here. Yeah, it was really weird.
It seems to be a thing, yeah. Like,
Everybody
yeah.
chose like this year and last year to go. It was weird to go and for Elle to be going at exactly the same time and then to meet her in Japan. Especially because at that point I only met her in Ireland, where we both lived once. So we'd met equal times in both places.
Yeah, the waiting on that was quite funny.
It's such a gorgeous, amazing place.
They got snow in Tokyo recently. I saw pictures.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I bet that was beautiful.
Maybe right. Some tourists want to go before the Olympics, because that might change up the place.
Okay. That makes sense. Do-be-do-boo. I think surface lines do help a little bit on this water.
They do.
I think so. It makes it take longer to do, but I think it works better. No, don't render. I hate when I accidentally press the render button instead of the play button.
Is there not a cancel like hotkey or anything?
There's a cancel button, but it still does the part of the render that it's done so far.
Yeah.
Like you hit it, and the progress bar comes up, and you hit cancel as fast as you can, but all of the time the progress bar is still making progress.
Yeah.
And then what that does then is put a screen up above your screen to show you the render so far.
There's been times when the hotkeys for Blender are the same as the hotkeys for rendering, the same as the hotkeys for Bandicam to record. So there's times when I've just accidentally recorded me rendering, which makes it take longer.
Oh no. You guys like guitar?
Yeah.
I don't think there's a musical instrument I don't like if it's played well.
Nah, you hate the tambourine.
I don't. I'm not a tambourinist. Where'd you get this from?
Wouldn't a tambourinist be someone that plays tambourine?
Oh, tambourine man, play your tambourine. It's one of my favourite songs.
Oh, okay. I should have known.
Yeah, the long lost Bowie hit.
The one that killed him.
Jingle jangle in the night, tambourine man.
Jingle Jangle.
Mm-hmm.
I see. Man, I can't believe I missed that one.
Yeah, I know. Well, you're obviously not as much of a fan of the tambourine as I am. So, yeah.
Gecko says, I sent the link to the teaser trailer link to you, Indy. When you're ready to have your noir-loving, loving mind blown.
When you're ready to have your noir-loving mind blown. Yes, I am ready. Thank you, Gecko. I'll check out the link after the stream. Is mayo an instrument? I suppose you could make it into an instrument.
You mean mayonnaise?
Yeah, I'm thinking about mayonnaise. Sauce an instrument up, lubricate those strings.
Do we like the triangle?
Yes.
The shape? Yeah.
Or maybe the instrument?
Oh, that is an instrument.
It is an instrument.
Oh, I get the connection there.
I do like the triangle.
I don't like the triangle.
You don't? But it's so tinkly.
It's just a tingle bingle.
Yeah, nice. It's like a wind chime.
Did you ever get that to play like in a orchestra? you play the triangle?
No. I used to play the triangle all the time though for fun. Just because it was hilarious. You know, because you'd go into the music class and they'd be like, okay, everybody choose an instrument, and you'd like grab the triangle and the teacher would be like, no, put it down again, every time. I'm just going to take that out of the musical box now. So people stop doing that joke.
What would you take? What instrument would you take after that?
One of those bric-a-brac, I don't know what you call them. It's like a wooden tube with ridges on it. And you get a stick with it and you just like drag the stick up and down it and hit it.
That makes so much sense.
Like the second least epic instrument in the box.
Why didn't you go for like the piano?
Because there were like pianos for everyone. There were keyboards like all the way around the room.
Right.
Like electric ones.
Yeah.
So like the instrument box didn't contain anything like that.
Oh, and you had to pick it from the instrument box.
Yeah. It was like a percussion box or something. It had a xylophone in it for some reason.
I don't understand why the triangle is frowned upon then.
I think just because like you can't even make that many different sounds with it. Like you can with the kind of bric-a-brac block, where you can hit it or drag the thing along it at different speeds to make different pitches. Like just a one note thing.
You can.
There was a cymbal as well actually, but that was too loud for me. I was too nervous.
Yeah.
What is favourite channel that's unknown? Let's see. Ethan's.
Ethan's, yeah.
Ethan does amazing watercolour paintings. And he's relatively unknown. And I think deserves more people to follow him. Because he does processes for his watercolours that he sells on his shop.
Yeah, let me go find him and meet him.
And he's really good. What kind of cartoons do you watch growing up? The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, where he's a freedom fighter in that whole village. I used to watch that all the time.
Oh, Sonic one, yeah.
Yeah, Pokemon. Cardcaptor Sakura was one.
Tom and Jerry.
How long did we take to make the Night in the Woods video?
It was about 13, 14 days.
Something like that, yeah. About 2 weeks.
Oh, night, Gunners.
See you, Gunnar. Thanks for the link. I'll check it out. Ethan rules, and he's been so nice and supportive to us. I think he was the first person who ever commented on any of our videos.
I think so, yeah. I don't know how he found us.
I don't either, but like I definitely consider him a really good friend. And I really admire his work, so.
Yeah, check out Ethan's stuff.
Super nice guy, super good work.
He streams on Twitch with his partner, Paisley.
So consistent too. I love the robots he does.
Yeah.
He does these great robots that he doodles really quickly, and they all have really fun designs. Hardick animated one recently.
Yeah.
I'd put you in Hardick's channel, but I think Hardick's Twitter's a better place to see his animations.
You can make more things if you want.
I don't know what a panic is. I've never heard of a panic before.
Is that what's happening? I don't know what panic is then.
I don't. But maybe we said it by accident. What's a panic? What's a panic? What's a panic? Tell me what's a panic?
Oh, a mech drawing lesson.
Ooh, that would be really cool. I don't know if he would ever do like commission mechs,
He probably would, yeah. I think
where you
he's...
get like the original sketch of a mech. I want a mech sketch.
We should ask him. I think he'd be up for that.
You think?
Yeah, because he was talking about hitting the commission. Commission's hard.
Oh.
His background job is coming to a close.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll ask him if he would consider doing some mechs because I really like them.
I think that's an awesome idea.
Do me a mech. Draw me a mech. One that I can pilot to the moon. One that I can use underwater to swim around and run around above ground. India in a mech.
India in a mech. That
That's
sounds
my
like
new channel name.
that sounds like a Saturday morning cartoon
It's just me in a box.
that you built yourself.
India in a mech. Better than usual India.
More troublesome, I guess.
More powerful.
More powerful.
More influential. You'd have like Parliament mech.
Parliament mech
Democracy mech.
goes into
Enforcing democracy.
goes into Parliament to vote.
It's part of Parliament. Prime Mechista. I don't.
To be fair, I think politics might be more interesting if they all have mechs.
Minister Prime.
Minister Prime. This is perfect. Oh, Minister Prime.
That's what I want. I want country to run by mechs, making decisions for the best of humankind. For the good of humankind is what I meant to say. For the best.
Maybe they might be more biased towards mech owners and not mech owners.
Night night unknown.
See, I know.
Thanks for hanging out.
Thanks for the question.
Bye.
What other unknown channels do we know about that you'd recommend?
Let me stretch. There was that girl that we found the other day who who said that she wanted to do voices.
Yeah.
There was a girl who commented on our video asking if we wanted any voice actors. So we went to check out her channel, and she basically just does vlogs, and she wants to be an artist. And she has a really nice voice, but also she's adorable and endearing. And I like her videos a lot.
It was just Liz or something.
Yeah. She doesn't have very many subscribers and she's still in school, but we really like her, so we subscribed.
No, there wasn't a channel of just Liz. That's someone else.
It was something like that though. It's just Liz or it's just me. I think she commented on the Night in the Woods one.
Mm.
How's the water going? It's going okay. Like I think these surface lines are helping.
See you, Harnick.
see hard it. I think they're helping to show the shape and flow. So I think maybe that was a good call putting them on. I'd like to switch off the underlayer in a sec and just see if it looks okay when it doesn't have that on. See if the shape is kind of working, you know? Like, I don't know if it's exactly what I was going for. It feels like a lot of experimentation, you know?
I think you'll find things that both work and don't work as you experiment though, and then you can kind of lean harder into the aspects that you think, yeah, this communicates what you need it to communicate.
Yeah, I hope so.
Let's see.
We found a really good channel yesterday, but I definitely wouldn't say it's unknown anymore. Like, they just passed 1 million subscribers. So,
yeah.
So probably not that unknown, but still really good. It's, what's it called? L something.
L Mills.
L Mills.
Mills.
L Mills. L Mills, she's a blogger, and her blogs are hilarious. She really takes it to the next level. These aren't just her talking to a camera, but she goes all out with them.
I found it's just Liz. But yeah, L's stuff really funny. I think that it's called L of the Mills.
Yeah, I remember that from her introduction. She's been working for like, what is it, 3 years? 4 years to get her YouTube known though, so even though
yeah.
L Mills is big now, it's taken a lot of work for her to get to that point. But you can see when you look at her videos why she's popular, because her videos are just awesome.
They're the sort of videos that Tibbs has been encouraging us to make.
Yes. The kind of videos we would like to make. We'd like to make, but probably couldn't do it that well straight off, but we'd like to try and get more of that into our own videos. More fun. How about you guys? Are there any unknown channels that you think we should check out or we should know more of?
Doodle dates? No.
Doodle dates? No? What is it? That sounds great. I mean, it has doodle in the title,
Yeah.
so that'll be good.
A British art couple that posts new art videos every Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday. We love doing silly art challenges. Aww. Oh, they talk. Wow. They look fun.
It's a couple and they have drawing dates. It's cute. Oh! I'm definitely going to check that out. Drawing dates? I want to go on a drawing date. What's a drawing date?
it's just going outside on a date and drawing at the same time.
I like it.
You like it.
More drawing dates. It's mainly them drawing in parks and cafes. That sounds really sweet.
Yeah. Gonna check them out more after the stream. It's really nice.
Yeah, we actually will. Because we're looking for inspiration to get better. That figure drawing is looking lovely, by the way, Mike.
Thanks.
Yeah.
The timer's going on to the next one, so I'm getting slowly back into it.
That's good.
It's amazing how much like you kind of you've done something before and you try and start doing it again. It's like, wait, whoa, what?
What am I doing?
But I think I was using too large a brush, and it was knocking me off stride. What are you gonna say?
I was going to say it would be nice to do more of that kind of stuff on our channel.
What's that?
I mean, I don't know if I'm getting ahead of myself. This may not ever happen. But it would be kind of nice to have people on the channel and to draw together.
Yeah.
And talk about stuff. I don't know what we could talk about though. Like, I don't know what would be interesting to listen to us talk about.
Our life, our opinions on the earth.
I don't think anyone's interested in our opinions, which are very ill-conceived and malformed.
Yeah. But like with the streaming and stuff, if we're co-streaming with people, and it's sort of like that, but it's not. There's less of a drawing focus. But artist guest is a nice idea.
Yeah. Like, if you want to talk about something that is relevant to a broad audience, so that people can get something out of it beyond just watching the drawing.
Mm-hmm. Legs are tricky. Like they have this rhythm to them, this curve I can never quite capture.
Can you still do like video responses on YouTube?
No, they took that away.
How come?
I don't know.
That's such a shame. Because that would have been fun. You could have set a challenge and had like a network of video responses.
Yeah. That would have been really cool.
Yeah. Seems like a good way to promote other channels as well. It's just you.
Yeah. It's a weird change to make because it's a good idea, but maybe people were abusing it.
Maybe.
It's just like, I love to talk about things, but it didn't mean I had to talk.
Oh. See you, Bryony. Have a good day at work. Have a lush day, as you would say.
Maybe we could do a private call sometime, Tibbs. Just you, me, and Swifty
Yeah.
to give you practice. If that's something you'd be interested in.
I'm still nervous to talk to people.
Indy's still nervous to talk to Patrick, and she's like talked to him so many times now.
Yeah, I still get nervous every time. Still know I'm gonna make a fool of myself. Oh my goodness, guys.
I know exactly.
You know what we're gonna say? Yeah. We were playing Dream Daddy yesterday as like the Valentine's thing we were doing together. We had a couple of hours on Dream Daddy, which we started playing but haven't finished. And I went on a date for the first time with one of the dads, and I made such an idiot of myself, and it was the worst thing in the world. Like, it was so much like real life. It was so much like how I am if I ever try to go and relate to someone else. And they're just infinitely cooler than me, and I just end up feeling like this stick in the mud, this awkward, awful, boring person. And I was like, this is the worst. This is the worst day ever. This is terrible. I'm terrible. I'll never be cool.
Okay. Yeah, I think we rounded it out in the end.
It seemed to end okay, but I don't know if we're compatible.
He's the one that you laughed at the most.
He is. Like, I love his sense of humour, but when we're in situations, like, I just never have the right response. It's like I get his sense of humour, but he doesn't get mine because it's too nerdy. Yeah. So I'll like laugh at his jokes, and then I'll make a joke, and he'll be like, "What?"
What?
Aww.
What age did you start taking art seriously? I was born by myself.
I get it on by myself. That's a little answer.
Probably around about the age of 16 or 17.
Pretty hard to say. Yeah, I'd say like when I got to university, maybe.
Yeah.
I'd been taking it seriously before then, don't get me wrong. Like, I definitely had been. In terms of wanting to be better and wanting to be an artist. But it was when I got to university that I felt able to do animation for the first time, because I felt restricted by not having software before then. So when I got to university, I was like, this is when I get to finally do the thing I've wanted to do for ages but haven't had a chance to. That was false also for me to believe that the software was holding me back. If I could tell myself now, I would say you don't need any software to start practicing animation. You can start practicing now.
Yeah.
And I wish I had. You know, back when I was kind of less fearful and had fewer expectations for myself, I wish I'd done more experimentation then. But I felt like I needed software and the light blocks and stuff to do animation. Which is why it's really important to me now to tell everyone else who's just starting that you don't need that stuff. Because I don't want other people to be held back the way that I held myself back.
That's really nice.
It's true.
It is true. I know for a fact it's true. That's nice.
How do you know for a fact?
Because I've looked into your eyes.
You looked into my eyes.
And I could tell. Yeah.
Yeah. Tiff started taking art seriously when she was 12, and the person she always considered her inspiration stopped drawing, and she realised how important art was to her.
That's pretty good.
Huh. Yeah, that's really interesting. How about the rest of you guys? When would you say you started becoming really serious about practicing and improving with your art? I guess really I was becoming more serious about art before then, but that was me becoming serious about animation, which was the kind of art I wanted to do. But I had been inspired by a lot of deviant art artists before then. who I looked up to a lot.
I think I always sort of knew that I wanted to go into a creative industry. Like it was games development for a long time. And I knew I wanted to make games because I played them throughout my whole childhood. I was like, yeah, I want to make games. It's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But it shifted more over to the art side when I got into the later stages of high school, and kind of that set me on the trajectory I'm on now. Like when I was a lot younger, I thought I wanted to be an artist, but I didn't pursue it for a long time.
How come?
I don't know. I just like I always drew when I was fairly young, and then I think there was a period where I just sort of didn't draw as much.
You just other stuff.
Yeah, I think so. Like I was still creatively building things. Like I remember Kinects and Lego and stuff, and I was still making things. But it's not so much drawing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think people have a disposition to activities, and if you enjoy the kind of the pursuit of drawing, you do it more often, and you'll improve at it.
Yeah.
And then if you don't draw for a while, even if you were good, it like you get out of practice, your skill can diminish. I think a lot of people who just didn't had interests that superseded drawing or art pursued them more, and then they get stuck in the mindset that, oh, I can't draw. Like they see others around them being able to draw better than they can, and they think the difference is like an inherent ability, and it's really just first disposition that you have where you're like, I enjoy drawing and I'm going to do it more. But I think as kids, a lot of us just draw because it's fun, and then they get to a certain point where you start to compare your ability against others, and when there's a gap and you assume the gap is there because of just an inherentness of that person, like, oh, they are just good at drawing, not the fact that they got good at drawing through practice. That we start to like diverge, and art takes on this thing of like value whether something's good art or not good art, rather than just something is just art. A drawing is just a drawing. I don't know why I'm going off on that.
No, it's interesting. I like hearing you talk about it.
I think it's the question of like, when did you start taking it seriously? It's like,
it's a hard question.
Yeah.
Because it depends what you count as being serious. Okay, I felt like I was serious about art before I started practicing animation, but I always felt like I was kind of waiting to get into animation, you know? Like I wasn't unlocking my true potential because I wasn't doing the thing I really wanted to do, and I couldn't do the thing I wanted to do until I got to a certain point, which was a lie, but that's how I felt at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a tricky question. Craig has some advice about your lady.
I feel like either the torso or legs and mirroring. Mirroring doesn't seems maybe jokey advice. I'm not sure. What do you mean, Craig?
I think he means maybe flipped. So either the legs or the torso flipped the other way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I love the Lion King too. Try it and see if it works.
Well, I was drawing from reference, but sure.
I think I was 8 when I decided I wanted to become an animator. That's really cool though, that I was making it all for the VHS. Did anyone else see when I showed The Lion King in cinemas in 3D? I cried, it was so beautiful. I really wanted to see that, but I didn't get to go and see it. Yeah, Claire started truly working late when she started making her college portfolio. I think it's the same with a lot of people. Like college, when they get the chance to properly study it, that's when they start taking it super seriously. Because before then, you're always kind of forced to study other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first time you can be like, art is the thing. I'm doing art.
Do you know? I think I know. I know when I started taking art seriously.
Mm-hmm. Go on.
It's when I I got a low grade in one of the years when I'd taken art. Like it was my lowest grade that year, and it really upset me that something that I thought that I should be better at than other things that I was doing. I think it was like a C or something like that. And it just sort of, it made me want to prove that I was better than that grade. So I think that's what kind of prompted me to start taking art as something that I had to put time into to improve in, to sort of outgrow that like external judgment. Like that, I think that was the first time I'd ever been externally judged and like given a value towards the stuff that I created. Like I skipped doing art at standard grade, and I went straight into higher. I had to like ask the art department and the art teachers for like their permission essentially, because usually you have to take a standard grade in a subject before you can take a higher in it in Scottish.
That's cool.
Education. So I was like, you know, I want to do art this year. I couldn't take it last year because I had too many subjects to do. But this year it's something I want to do. And they were like, okay.
That's very cool then.
Yeah. And I just didn't do well.
You didn't do well?
No. Like, I wanted to do it. I got on. I did it. I struggled. Like, there's a whole graphic design aspect to it, as well as the illustration, but I didn't have the foundation there that to build on. I didn't really know what I was doing. I knew that I wanted to draw, but I didn't know how or what to practice or anything like that. Like, the tuition in art wasn't great.
Yeah.
Like, they'd done still lifes, and they'd done, like, in first and second year in high school, and it's like, yeah, paint from observation. But they never nailed why, or what that linked up with. It was like studying art from a surface level. It's always kind of annoyed me, like, moving forward, where it's like, they're like, oh, artists paint still lifes. Still lifes is like a genre of like classical painting, or like, this is what artists do. And it's like, okay, do you know why? Do you know why they paint those still lifes? Because you never told us, or at least it never sunk in with me. It always felt like still lifes were something that was, how can I describe this? Like, it always felt like the point of a still life painting was the still life painting. And for some people that might be the case, but I feel like artists did still lifes because it gave them a condensed vertical split of, here is a bunch of objects that you can observe with different materials, with a lighting setup that you can paint to learn how color and light works. So the still life was a condensed study for larger paintings that the artists were going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And there was never that kind of connection made when I was in high school.
Yeah. I think in general the kind of education system is a bit outdated now, well, very outdated now. Since internet has happened and now information is more widely available, I think it's become a very different world.
Yeah, I think so.
Like, there are a lot of people now who know way before they go to college exactly what they want to do and exactly who they want to be. And I believe for those people, specialised training courses such as online courses should be their road to education.
Yeah.
Where they can immediately go into studying exactly what they want to do.
Yeah.
And if those courses are good, they will include things like figure drawing and life drawing in them. Things that would be relevant to animators or artists if that's what they choose to do. But they should be able to do that without having to go through general education and specifically school art education, which is very narrow-minded in terms of what it considers art and who it considers an artist, in my experience.
I think for animation, it's important though to couple it with study of sciences. Like,
Well,
there's so much physics, biology in.
Well, I agree, but that's the point. Is I think the education system needs to be uprooted a bit in terms of when you go to school. That is you getting a grounding in a wide variety of things to figure out what it is you want to study specifically.
Yeah.
But the thing is that schools nowadays don't have a wide grounding of things. Like, if someone went to school wanting to be an animator and learn more about animation, no one's going to know anything about it. And the art teachers are going to be limited to their knowledge of classical artists.
Yeah.
There's no study of recent styles, recent trends. There's no study of all the different kinds of art. You can do digital art, artists on, DeviantArt, on YouTube, on...
Well, there certainly wasn't in the 90s.
No. And that's a valid choice and style and career path, and that should be included in the education system too. Modern music, modern art, all these kinds of new media that have emerged need to be included, because that's the route that a lot of people want to go down nowadays, but it's excluded from the education system. Because of that, I think a lot of people end up not knowing exactly how to get to where they want to get when they leave school, because they haven't been told anything about it.
I think the internet is making up a lot of ground on that, though.
It is, but that's the thing, is it's not presented as an option to people frequently when they go to school, because they're told by people of the previous generation that they have to go to school and they have to go to college and they have to go to university, when in actual fact it might be better for them to go to school and then go to a training course online for the thing they want to do.
Yeah, if you figured it out.
Yeah.
Specific things to study.
Exactly, but how do you figure that out when everyone's telling you that you have to go the long way around?
Yeah.
And you have to look at all these other options, and that's not really an option for you, or not a valid career choice. I think that education should be coupled with the online courses in terms of people who want to stay in school and get a broader education and a wider variety of subjects can absolutely do that. But those people who know straight off what they want to do should be able to get a grounding in the broad subject and then go on to specialise sooner.
Yeah, I mean, it could even be a case that you couple, like you're saying, that online study while you're still in high school, and like one of their kind of slots of program for, like, say you had a subject, one of the subjects could be like an online vocation where you get external studying from somewhere elsewhere outside of the school. You're like, I'm going to study this.
Yeah, like internships are something I always thought was like super valuable and
mentorships
helpful.
As well.
Yeah, that maybe there should be a stronger emphasis on.
I think school education systems, particularly when we were growing up, but probably still happen. It's hard to say because we've not been in high school for
a long time. Yeah.
Are still built on the foundation that school was there to train like industrial workers, or people that are going to fit into I think it's described as an autonomous kind of job role or something. But kids these days and us these days, a lot of stuff has shifted over to creative industries where you need to take initiative, think for yourself, make your own job, make your own purpose. And I think that's what you're presenting, where you're figuring out what you want to do and learning how to do it.
Yeah.
I'm going to scroll back up in the chat a little because I think I missed stuff during my... No, I got that. Seriously.
I just think that for certain people and certain careers, options aren't presented to them that should be presented to them. And the old way of doing things is preserved just because it's the way other people have done it rather than because it's the best thing. Like, everything needs to update and move with the times, and education is no different. There's no reason why education should remain the same. Like, hundreds of years after it was invented. Like, it's crazy when you think about it like that. Like, it hasn't changed yet.
I think in there's some Scandinavian countries where school systems have been changed in a positive way, like that, where they are more adaptive to what the kid wants to learn, and they spend less time in school because of it.
That's good, because it should be about the student.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be about preserving the education system. It should be about, okay, what's best for this person?
Yeah.
What do they want out of life? How can we make that the best it can be for them?
Yeah.
How do we give them the most options? How do we push them forward?
I think it starts to get difficult when you have kids that you feel like they need more discipline than others, because there's kids that are eager to learn, there's kids that are not, but they're all...
Well, kids that aren't eager to learn.
The kids that aren't eager to learn aren't eager to learn the set curriculum that's placed down. So I think engaging with them as an individual, rather than just trying to discipline, like sit down, listen, you need to learn this, like ask them why.
Well, don't you think they'd be more engaged to learn if they were learning the thing they were interested in?
Yeah, very much so.
You know?
Like, rather than trying to force them down a set path that they don't.
I agree that it's important to have a broad foundation, but I think the time for that is when kids are younger, before they start to develop ideas about exactly what it is they want to do specifically.
Yeah.
I think they should be allowed to specialise when they gain that interest.
I think one of the difficulties is schools need to prove they're doing what they're saying they're doing, and because of that, like these rigid systems of like grades, curriculums, it's almost like an oil tanker or something. Like, it's very hard to redirect because there's so much management around. Like, are the kids learning? Yeah. What are they learning? Well, we've got this curriculum. Cool. How do we measure them learning that curriculum? Exams and tests. Like, Or schools need to like prove that they're doing it in order to continue getting funding. So it's like,
I know that, but I mean, just because a system's hard to change doesn't mean it's okay to leave it the same.
Not very much.
You know, I understand it's difficult, but you know, education should have funding.
Yeah.
Without having to prove itself.
Yeah, you should just be inherently like, yeah, this needs supporting, guys. This is the future.
But, I think inspections upon the school are a good way to test.
That's true.
I don't know how to fix it, all I know is how I felt when I went to school and how I wish that, since I knew I wanted to be an animator since I was 8, I wish there'd been room for that during the 7 years I spent in education after that, in which I was unable to practice. During which time my art teachers told me that cartoons weren't art and I wasn't allowed to do them.
Yeah, my art teacher was like, your art's too comic booky.
Yeah, and I was like, but I want to do comic books and animations.
Yeah.
And she was essentially like, that doesn't matter. You have to study this or I'm going to fail you. Because that's what the curriculum is.
Yeah.
And for someone who knew from when they were 8 to have to wait until they were 18 to go and do the thing they knew they wanted to do. I mean, like I said, I know now that I could have been practicing that alone. And one of the biggest mistakes I see people make is thinking that the university or teacher is the one who's going to teach them stuff. When in actual fact, a lot of it is self-learning. And if I'd realised that sooner, I could have studied myself sooner instead of relying on other people to teach me.
I think Tibbs is hitting something. I think schools should teach us how to self-study, how to learn more about whatever you're interested in.
Tibbs, that's great. Yeah.
I think that's what school should be. Learn how to learn, and just go.
No, it's true though.
Ask questions. Yeah.
The thing about university is, when I went to university, the thing I was paying for was the time and equipment to do the work.
Yeah.
I definitely wasn't paying to learn animation because the person who was teaching me had never done animation before.
Yeah.
I was very much teaching myself, but paying for the room to do the animation in, and that's 3 years to practice.
I think that's the difference really between university and like high school. Like there is a jump where the focus of study jumps from the teacher to the student.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of university is more like you're supposed to guide yourself, and I think people weren't anticipating that. They were like expecting to be given the information.
Yeah,
because they were paying for a course. And it's like, it's not how the world works.
Yeah, but because of that, a lot of people didn't get out of university what they could have got out of university.
Yeah, because they were expectant.
And Tibbs is right. If people had been taught in school to teach themselves and self-study, that probably wouldn't have been so much of a problem.
Yeah.
Because that would have been carried on from school.
Yeah.
Is that, hey, if there's something you want to learn, you have to go and learn it yourself.
Yeah.
And this is how you do it.
And if you think of the world before the internet has connected information in the way it has, going out to learn that sort of stuff yourself was phenomenally more difficult because you only had access to local resources. You only had access to books, or you could try and get like Encarta installed on your computer way back. That was a set amount of knowledge, and now you have Wikipedia that can be just type a sentence and you have information at your fingertips now. Like self-study is so vital now.
It was so vital then as well.
Oh, sorry. It's so much easier and still as vital.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. We have more access to information now.
I think that as much as our access has increased, our capacity to store it ourselves decreases as well, because if it's so easy to find and have access to, memorizing it is less. There's less there's less of a need, if you know what I mean, to retain it. It's like we've become more random access memory oriented than read-only memory oriented. Tibbs is a point. Most of the time when people present me a problem, I don't know the answer, but I know how to find it, so I can help Shira figure out a problem with Toon Boom without having ever used it. There was...
Tip is great with that, for sure.
There was a point where Melon was trying to figure out how to do something. Well, it was a similar tool in Photoshop, but he was working in TV Paint, and he sent me a screenshot, and I was like, see that button there? Click that, see what that does. And I think it was something fairly simple, like there was a drop down somewhere on his layer. I was like, click that, see if that gives you options. And I've never used TV Paint.
Yeah.
And he was like, click. Oh! It was like you're blending mode options in TV Paint.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a big problem that I have actually, is that I'm not very good at figuring out things myself, like knowing how to learn. And I think that's maybe one of the reasons that I can overwork myself so much as well, is because I've kind of got used to brute forcing it. Like, I don't know how to get to the smart answer or how to figure things out. But what always worked for me was just to put tons and tons of time and work into it anyway and do it the long way around.
Right.
And so I'm used to just, if I have a problem with something and it doesn't work, I just brute force it by finding a way around rather than finding the answer.
It's almost like an acceptance of like, well, this is the way that, like, you almost assume that's the way it is, and therefore people who are using the same system have just done the similar kind of brute force approach. Like,
Yeah.
you discovered the pencil tool in Toon Boom recently.
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not one to say that tools make all the difference and that what kind of tool you use to animate is going to make your animation better.
Yeah, but you don't want
But
to
it
be
does
hammering
save
with a
time.
screwdriver.
Yeah, exactly. It does save time. But I'd never known about it. I'd never even gone looking for it. Because I'm not wired. I don't think I'm wired. Because I never got taught how to find the solutions myself, I just realised I wasn't going to get any help. So, my solution was just to try and jump the gap.
Yeah, rather than
that's now my default reaction to things.
Rather than be like, there must be a bridge somewhere.
Yeah, I'm just like, well, that over there, so they must have jumped. Which, I mean, you're someone who does problem solve, which is why being with you is really helpful. Because a lot of the time, you save me a lot of time by saying, why don't you try it this way? And it's simultaneously really, really helpful to know someone like that. And kind of frustrating and disheartening sometimes, because I'll put a lot of time into doing something that I realise I could have done very quickly in a different way.
Similarly, it's frustrating for me when you go, why don't you just do it like this? And I'll try and think around it or explain like, well, if we did it this way, and you'll just be like, yeah, but you could just do this. And I'm like, oh, I could just do that, but that would take just about the same amount of time or more and be more difficult than this way. Like building the 3D model for an environment, for instance, you could just paint that. Like, well, I could.
Yeah. I'm trying to get better at learning things, at trying to look for alternate solutions. The problem being that a lot of the time my brain just assumes it isn't one, which makes it hard to learn them because my brain does the auto thing of, well, there won't be one. So I need to figure out how to get around that.
I wonder what set that up for you.
I think it was just probably not having help from people.
Saini says that his brother has posted something in the peg bar regarding his comic, if you were interested.
Cool, I am interested. But I think if I could get that combination of the mindset you and Tibbs have, where you are able to try and figure out things you don't know, with my work ethic, I could progress a lot faster.
Yeah. There is something to be said for going a long way around. That you can internalize and learn how to do something more. Like, for instance, if you're tracing something, you're gonna learn how to draw that one specific thing, or you're going to be able to draw that one specific thing. But when it comes to something that doesn't have that guide, then you're going to be more stuck. Whereas if you took the time to draw from observation rather than you putting like whatever you were drawing underneath your drawing and tracing it, then you're going to learn more from that.
Mm-hmm.
So there is something to be said that taking shortcuts or finding faster ways to do things that are easier might help solve the immediate problem, but it's not a long-term solution.
Just popped up Stanley's brother's pic. Looking good. If he's interested, I could do a quick draw of it to try and strengthen the pose a little bit. But other than that, like, it's looking really good. Nice job. Chic.
Awesome.
Yeah. Nice, he's got good drawing skills. Yeah, let me know if you would like a drawing if that would be unhelpful, in which case I will leave it. It's just it's good. You know, I think there's a certain aspect of time lost in looking for solutions for things.
Mm-hmm.
Where it feels like trying to find a bridge would take more time than just jumping across.
Yeah. But the looking to find a bridge only needs to happen once.
Mm-hmm.
It's a similar sort of setup for puppet rigs versus hand-drawn animation. It takes a time to set up a rig, but once it is set up, it's faster to animate with.
Yeah, but the animation was good.
Well, the animation might not be as good, yeah.
But I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. That, yeah, like you put in the legwork beforehand and make it easy for yourself for like ever after that.
Yeah.
It's a weird mentality in which I'm like constantly obsessed about losing time on stuff, so I'm scared to take time away looking for solutions.
I think that's more it than your inability to see. I think you're like, oh, I could figure this out, but I don't have time.
I mean, that is definitely a thing, but I do find that it doesn't really occur to me a lot of the time that there could be another solution.
I think you probably hold yourself back from doing it because of the time aspect more often than you're like, I just need to do this.
I mean, I couldn't say for sure, but it doesn't feel like I'm holding myself back. It feels like I literally just did not think, hey, there's probably a simpler way to do this, I should check that out.
And often I can overconsider things and not start on things because I'm still seeing if there's a bridge.
Yeah, that's true. That's the downside, is that sometimes you spend so much time looking for the bridge that you could have already done the thing and moved on to the next thing.
How would you avoid boredom if all of your hobbies involved your hands but you were trying to recover from repetitive strain injury?
Let's see.
If you're able to put your hand arm in a brace, are you still able to? Are you still mobile? Still able to get around? Because
I guess study. Get yourself riled up by like studying games or like looking at movie compositions, doing things that are surround your passion, that are going to feed into your passion, that aren't necessarily that where you take a break.
yeah, I mean, you could go into a research phase.
Because it's absolutely not worth like doing your hands in by continuing to try and push it. Like you gotta take a break if your body's saying no. But you can keep your brain active on that stuff by thinking about design, planning stuff out. You know? Something I do a lot when I'm not anywhere I can type, because I don't know how bad it is. So if it's like I can't really use the mouse or type too much, then you can use the recorder on your phone to record thoughts.
So it's just like exercise. Don't need no hands to work out those glutes. Squats for 30 seconds, go.
I don't see no squats! Squat harder! That's tough though. I'm glad I haven't really suffered from that before. That would be rough. Just don't push yourself too hard, man. You gotta be in working order to do your thing. Hey Bento.
Yo, Bento.
Take your time, think a lot, think of everything you've got.
Seriously, go for it.
Look at me, I am old, but I'm happy.
Oh man. Is that not like Ronan Keating, or is that actually Boyzone? What is that?
I don't know. I don't think it's Boyzone, I think it's another song that they covered. I was once like you are now, and I know that it's not easy. Something, do-we-do. There's so much you have to go through. Sorry, Tips. It's such a good song. My dad used to sing it all the time. Probably still does.
Probably.
But I don't hear him anymore. Probably should have just redrawn this rather than fiddling with it endlessly.
Many pots.
Mary pots?
Many pots.
Many pots?
Rather than making one perfect pot.
Oh
Many
yeah.
pots.
Many pots. True that, true that. These boils need to start, so I'm starting to have them emerge. Yeah, I haven't done a ton of animals either, actually. That'd probably be a good thing to practice. There's too much to practice, guys.
Ooh, Tibbs and Hardy team up. They teamed up on the Oni thing.
Yeah.
That was so cool.
You guys have all come so far though since then. Like, it wasn't that long ago, but I feel like you've both made real jumps in progress. Get some foam. Get that foam going on. Oh yeah. Steiny is Andrew Clark.
Yeah.
I forget too, I'm so used to just saying Steiny now. Andrew Clark Kent.
That'd be a great name.
If you want, then you can marry.
Is that still going around in your head?
Yeah. Oh yes, please do post it. All the animations. Craig.
Hey, Craig.
What up?
That's really weird. Both Craig, I believe Craig Russell's living in Sweden, and Emma also, and they both turned up at the same time. Are you guys like on the same plane, car, or like did you ride the same?
You better not be in the same car and listening to this. Concentrate on driving.
That's great. They're not in the same. I just mean it's coincidental arrival.
Hello. Hello, I'm
Mm.
How's it doing? How are you guys?
Okay, we're doing that now.
What?
Mm.
Hello. I like this treble posting thing that happens whenever you post anything. Left.
I said his name 3 times. Oh no, he's going to appear.
Is that how it works? That'd be great. Great says, no, I'm Scottish, but I live in Stockholm.
I figured out teleportation, guys. You just say people's names 3 times and they appear.
Mike.
I'm here.
It worked! Sometimes I say your name 3 times and you still don't appear.
That's because my name is not actually Mike.
It's like you're deliberately deciding not to.
Look, I sometimes struggle with parallel processing in my head. So if I'm thinking about or doing something, you get added to the queue.
No.
And then once that's done, I then go, yeah, what?
I get to skip the queue.
No.
That's my power.
No.
Yeah. Is this what I'm doing? I don't know if I want to. I think I should though. I think it needs lines going down.
So what's happening with you guys, Mr. Craig and Mr. Emma? We didn't end up watching a movie. We kind of turned up a little late, and
I think everyone had already left. We got there at like past or something, and only Matt was really up for watching it, so we decided to just reschedule.
Yeah. Because
it was going to be the Goofy movie, and we figured that movie is best watched with like a big group of people.
Yeah. Steiny, in terms of maintaining volumes, a good trick for that is to keep up a reference drawing of your character at the scale they're at on the first frame, and have that in view while you're creating the size for the other frames.
Sometimes you can even just like, if you are worried whether you are on the same scale or not, just drag the drawing underneath the drawing you're doing and check proportions and stuff on there.
That's a good use of onion skinning.
Or just having it like semi-transparent underneath. Like even if it's just a check.
Craig's gonna make some comic strips today.
Oh hell yeah!
Hell yeah!
Hell yeah! Sounds awesome.
Ooh.
What is it?
Bento posted some animation in the Breakfast Club.
Ooh! Are you gonna get it up?
I can do. Too young.
Ha! Nice and good. I'd say you could get a bit more weight into the landing by having him kind of sink down to his own weight before pushing himself up with his arm. Tiny has a question regarding onions. Oh, Craig, you read Girl in the Glim. Oh, yay! Oh, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. That's awesome. Yay! I might be doing Girl in the Glim animations next week. There's something that might be happening.
Yeah.
You know about this.
I know. I just don't want to join you. Why are you animating Girl in the Glim, dude?
Is it or is it not weird to go into the kitchen and start eating chopped up onions? Yeah, some people eat raw onion and like it. It's not that weird. There are weirder things you could eat.
This is true.
Craig, hopefully there will be more at some point this year.
We're currently trying to build up support for the project through Patreon, so that it can free up both of our times away from freelancing. So that's our next objective.
Objective A.
Being transparent with you guys. So we're going to attempt to rejig how we spend our time to maximize that trajectory.
This year so far has been pretty much exclusively freelance because we need to make rent, which has been taking a lot of time away from time I wanted to spend doing personal projects.
Yeah.
Because I've had to take on 3 or 4 different projects a month to keep going. And we recently decided just to go for happiness, even if it means that we end up having to move away.
Yeah.
So we're going to spend more time on personal projects
and share those. Yeah,
and we're hoping that we can if we have that reflected in the Patreon. We're hoping if we go all in for Patreon, we'll be able to maybe someday make enough to be able to support ourselves to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, Craig, yeah. I mean, day job is kind of nice structurally. The thing is, because we're working 9 or 10 hours a day on freelance projects anyway, it's essentially a day job.
Yeah.
But that would be awesome, if you wouldn't mind. Every little bit of help is helpful, you know?
Yeah. There's a lot of power in recommending. There's a lot of power in recommending something to someone. That's a matter of trust that you can't really buy.
I guess. I mean, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. So
yeah,
it is always down to the person whether they want to be part of it or not. But it does really help.
Yeah, and it's hard making the ask of
it's hard to ask for help without without the reason for the help needing, like, creeping in.
What do you mean?
I don't know, I'm just thinking about I'm just like, it's hard to ask for help, you know?
What do you mean without the reason creeping in?
As in, if you're struggling with something, asking for help and being vulnerable and really, like, showing that struggle.
Showing that it's hard.
Yeah.
And that you're asking for help because you need the help.
Yeah,
I see. You're showing your underbelly.
Dude, if you're not a patron but you're sharing the Patreon, that's still support. Like,
Oh yeah, dude, no. Like, it's fine. Like, the more eyes that see it, the better. You know? We'll never begrudge anyone for not being a patron. We know that everyone's kind of hard up for money at the minute. It's hard to choose where to put any extra funds you have, if you even have any. But, like, all support is appreciated.
yeah.
No matter which kind. It's amazing to have people who are excited about what we're doing.
To be honest, like, all of our Patreon is open, which means that all of the content there is available all the time for everyone.
It's freely viewable, essentially.
So more eyes on it, more engagement on it can only be a good thing.
Bizarre. Ooh, hey Bizarre.
Hello.
Everybody just chilling. Talking about the Patreon.
And at the same time, if there's something that we can do on the Patreon that you'd like to see, that like, if there's something we've worked on that you want to know more about, or there's something we can add that we're not currently doing, that's valuable to know as well.
Yeah. People are understandably hesitant to say, this is crap, you should change this. But it is helpful in the long run to know that kind of stuff. To know what we're doing badly, as well as to know what not to change. But, like, we're not going to rely on people to do that, because we know that's, like, pressure in people's time to have to put into trying to sort out our problems. So we'll just make changes, and hopefully they'll be good changes, and we'll see what people think afterwards.
Yeah.
It's all experimentation, right?
Yeah.
All just trying to figure out.
R&D. How do you submit a question to the character Ask Me Anything? Any post that you comment on Patreon, we're going to read, and then Doig can answer.
Yeah, so you can just pop it in a comment for anything. Like, any of the posts, just put question for someone and then ask a question.
If you really want to, like, go specific on it, the first mention of India wanting questions for it, if you drop it there, that might encourage other people who maybe go to that post, and if there's more questions there, it might encourage.
Honestly, like, I'd rather you drop it on any post.
Okay.
Just because I don't want people to feel like they have to do a specific post in order to get an answer. I want to encourage people to be able to ask on any post. Like, to make it a thing. Because otherwise I feel like it might feel like it's specific to that one time when I asked. If that makes sense?
Yeah.
That's cool, Bento. Thanks.
Craig says, a few of us were discussing North last night. I'm trying to learn how to tell short stories for the purpose of practice, and North is a great example.
Oh, thanks, Craig.
North was a was an interesting project to work on because we knew we wanted to tell an 8-page story, but we didn't know what to say, and we were stuck. And North was our way of getting unstuck. North is sort of like North was the decision to do what we started doing in our own lives. Like the lesson we were trying to tell ourselves got wrapped up in North.
I think also it's just the indecision on what to do in the comic became a topic for the comic. So us not knowing what direction to go in terms of what idea to do, we were like, well, why don't we just make that the comic? Like that feeling of indecision.
Yeah.
And not wanting to go forward with everything because we don't know if it's the right way to go. Let's do a story about that.
Yeah.
But we tried to use the structure once upon a time, and because of that,
yeah, we
I
probably
misspoke it.
that.
But there's that famous 7-stage structure for writing short stories.
Yeah.
And we based it loosely upon that. Sorry, Mike?
I was just going to say, yeah, we Brian McDonald it. That was, yeah.
Which is really, really helpful. It's always helpful to have like a structure beneath it that you can fall back and be like, hey, this is tried and tested. There are still things that we would change about it, I think. But it's really cool to know that you liked it. I'm excited to hear that you're doing a short story, or you're thinking of doing a short story. That would be really cool. You're thinking sometime this year, right?
Was that a question to me? I was reading the chat.
No, I was asking Craig.
Cool. Awesome.
Let's see. I think we've got some advice from Emma. So
Yeah.
I'm just going to check it out.
Yeah.
Freedom of education is nice. I dislike when information is held hostage behind a paywall. Yeah. We agreed, Tibbs. That's why we chose to do that for our particular Patreon. It's like, just for our way of doing things, it felt like it made sense. Also, there's the factor that we don't really have time to create stuff that only a small percentage of people are going to see. We don't have time to create stuff exclusively for Patreon. So making it just available for everyone makes most sense for us.
Yeah.
Emma says, where I see it, people pay for something on Patreon, so the only reason for pledging isn't to keep them afloat, is to get the content they enjoy. Yeah, that's the upside, I think, to having tiers, is that there's a good reason for people to give you that money other than just trying to keep you going, which is, you know, what we're doing is people are aware when they donate to us that they're donating to us to help keep us making the stuff, which is kind of a harder sell than you're going to get all this awesome stuff. Yeah, art versus education, that's true. Tibbs makes the point that we are not giving people specifically art, which is very true. A lot of the time we're just documenting or talking about what we're going to do next. Craig's been working on a project that's getting pretty huge. Going to start working on 4 and 16 panel comics. Oh,
Right.
4 and 16 panel comics are really fun to read. That's probably a really good shout. Nothing will teach you storytelling like trying to do something in 4 or 16 panels, right?
I think the short stories can be underestimated because you only have a limited amount of space to condense that story into and still have it engage and still have it still have people feel like they've gone somewhere, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like 100%. I think people sometimes think because short stories are short, they're faster to do. But in actual fact, it's really, really hard to tell a good story in very few pages. What was it that famous writer said? I'm sorry I said you were such a long letter. I didn't have time to write you a short one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think it's great practice for storytelling. Again, I don't think we did everything right with ours at all. There's a lot of things that I think we didn't do very well. But it was a really good learning experience to make something in a short amount of time like that. I'd be definitely interested in seeing any of your 4 or 16 panel comics, Craig. Yeah, for people who aren't aware, Craig is an amazing artist. I'm sorry we didn't say that sooner, but you should go and check out their stuff. Where's the best place to find Craig's art?
That's a good question.
Because I see it predominantly Instagram and Facebook. Everybody should see the 4 and 16 panel comics, not just us.
Here's his Instagram, I believe.
Yeah, we were actually talking about your Patreon the other day, Emma, and we were saying that we thought it was really good because you don't strong arm anyone to your Patreon. You just put out stuff that is cute, that is well drawn, that is appealing, that you want to do yourself. And people naturally, if they're interested in it, will follow the stream back to your Patreon. Like, we thought that was a really nice way of doing it.
We started likening some terms, animation terms, to like marketing in a way yesterday. That was kind of fun.
It's less marketing and more just like how we should approach Patreon, maybe, in terms of what we write on there. Because it's easier for me to understand if we talk about
animation terms,
anticipation for a project, and then exaggeration and follow through and appeal. Like, these are principles I can try and resolve to have a meaning within the context of writing a post.
Yeah.
And it makes it a little bit easier for me to grasp. I don't know. Like, we're just throwing loads of spaghetti at the wall, basically. I don't know if anything that we're thinking is gonna make a big difference. But we might as well try it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, bento box, you're very right there. I think drawing human bodies, when you simplify them, it's difficult to simplify the human form. It's always more difficult to simplify than it is to draw every detail in.
That's interesting. Tibbs's bring up thing. I think the problem with framing a Patreon around the content is how it pigeonholes you into that content and makes it very difficult to branch out.
Yeah,
like
I agree.
If you're promising people a particular thing on a particular day, then people can anticipate that, and that can drive pledges. Like, oh, if I pledge, I will get that. It simplifies.
I mean, I agree, but I think what Tibbs might be referring to more, and I might be wrong, Tibbs, so you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think what Tibbs is saying is if you base your Patreon around a particular project or content, then once that project or content is over, there's no interest left, there's nowhere to go. Whereas if you base your Patreon around the creators and what they're making, and you're supporting the creators, then you're on board no matter what project they end up doing.
I think that's your interpretation of what fuck it, that's a big statement. I think you're putting your own slant that you were talking to me about yesterday onto that statement.
Yeah,
I think what Tibbs is talking about is if you have content that you could be creating indefinitely, but it's the same thing, then it makes it difficult to, like, you'd have to create extra content rather than alternative content if you wanted to try something else, so you were still providing. I think it's the difference between a service-based Patreon, where you might be providing products, but it's also like servicing clients, opposed to supporting like a particular creator's current project, which is, I think, the way we're hoping to. The way we're kind of structuring it is, we're making this stuff, and with support, we'll use that support to spend the time to make that stuff. And once that stuff's done, the next project will slot in. What's that?
It's also complicated. Yeah, both of those interpretations, those tips. But if you draw portraits and then you want to move to pin-ups, people join you for the portraits.
So you might gain people for pin-ups and lose the portrait people.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Mm-hmm.
Or the portrait people need to decide whether they like pin-ups as well. And some will and some won't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tricky. Like, it's easier to make a case in an argument for having a particular sorry, I started reading and I started thinking as well. I think it's easier to frame a Patreon when it is about a particular aspect. Like, I make pinups or I make portraits, so that's what you can expect from this Patreon, and that's what you're pledging for. It's harder for. I want to be able to communicate quickly what something will get out of pledging to our Patreon, and I don't think we've figured that out yet.
I don't think you can do though. I don't think you. Like, I think when it comes to our Patreon, I'm not sure we can simplify very quickly what it is we do, because we do animation and we do comics and we do art pieces and painting tutorials, you know?
Yeah. I like, if you've ever seen Amanda Palmer, her Patreon, she basically just says, I'm going to make things. If you want to support the things I make, then you can. I think this is the most similar one I know of. Or she just does whatever she's wanting to do next.
Right.
And people are supporting Amanda Palmer.
And how does she pitch her thing then?
It's been a long time since I looked, so that's a good question. We should look at that. She's the one that did the talk in the book called The Art of Asking, if you remember.
Mm-hmm. Tibbs is saying that, not Tibbs, sorry, Emleth is saying that he has a friend who branched out from doing portraits to pin-ups, and their followers continue to support them.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it's all that different. Like, it's in the same ballpark. Yeah, bento box. That's what we're hoping, I think. And Tibbs, yeah, I do think there is a slight block in the mindset there, where even if they do stay with you, there's the fear that you doing something different is going to lose the people who have been supporting you so far. Sorry for all this Patreon talk, guys.
Yeah, sorry.
It was on our mind yesterday and we were talking about it a lot. Because we are essentially deciding that we're going to turn down future freelance in order to try and make the Patreon more a thing. We were talking about it a lot.
I think less we're going to turn stuff down, but we're going to lean more heavily. Our time allocation is going to lean more heavily in providing value.
Say that, but I did literally turn down freelance yesterday because of the conversation we had.
Yeah. But that was because that particular one took time but didn't compensate very well for it.
I figured the time would be better spent with me doing something that didn't pay but was, I don't know.
Yeah.
I know, like, we could have done with the money, but we had that conversation, and I was deciding that we were going to be all in.
Yeah. I think I'm just trying to soften the blow of like, guys, we're turning down freelance now. Like, we're trying to take a very measured response, but like trying to let our passion guide us rather than our fear.
Yeah, that's essentially it. It's a decision to make our compass our passion instead of what we're scared is going to happen. Yeah, coffee is nice, Tibbs. I like it too. I think it's a really nice idea, and equating the help you can give to an artist to buying them a coffee is great as well, because it puts into perspective how much money that is for people. Because people can get very like, oh, I don't know if I have enough money to give to someone. But if you say, hey, it's just like buying them a coffee, then it puts into perspective, oh, I have a coffee every day. Maybe it's not that much money after all. Which is nice. Yeah, long-term commitments are a hard sell, but they are. Like, ultimately the thing which can support you long-term.
Yeah. I think that goes both ways for both the patrons and the Patreon runners. Like, a long-term commitment from the person who's running the Patreon is like committing to creating that content, and the people pledging is the trust that content will continue to be created. And then on the flip side, people that are supporting, it's like they're having to decide on a long-term commitment by pledging, even if it's like, I'm going to pledge for 2 months and then stop. It's still a jump from, I'm just going to pay $5 and I don't need to worry about it.
Such a weird, tricky, prickly thing.
Yeah.
Wish it could just be simple.
We work internationally, Craig. Like, most of our clients at the moment are US. Which makes PayPal a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, there's not too much local freelancing actually. Because Dublin is really good for animation. A lot of the time, any freelance you get around here is the prelude to them asking you to come in studio.
Yeah, there's a couple of comics gigs potentially on the horizon that are local, but they're more like collaborations, I think, than strictly freelance. If that makes sense. Like, it's people we know going, hey, it'd be cool if you did some pages or colored some pages for this comic idea I have.
Yes, I have no idea how to money online either. PayPal's a weird, fickle creature that sometimes charges you ridiculous amounts for receiving payments from international clients.
Yeah. PayPal's good for sort of smaller fees of transferring money between online locations, but getting it to and from your bank is trickier.
It's tricky, and international payments which require conversion fees can kind of dick you over.
Yeah. For instance, we got a payment and we lost $100
of it
before it even reached us.
Just to fees. And we were like, great!
Didn't know that was going to happen. Cool. Let's not do that again.
Yeah. So just be careful. Make sure you know all the fees. Even transferring money internationally, Emma.
Have you ever transferred large amounts of money with PayPal? Because it's a percentage fee, so it scales.
How do we usually connect with new clients? Word of mouth, social media? For me, it's a lot of social media. A lot of my clients come from seeing my work on Twitter, and the ones who have come from word of mouth have been people who have worked with me because they've seen my work on Twitter and then told people that I'm good to work with. There are a couple of people around Dublin who ask me sometimes because studios know that I can do the work, so that's helpful. Yeah, that's mostly it. Is people see the Twitter stuff and hide me, and then they told other people that I was free. Like, Twitter's great for animation.
Twitter's been really good, yeah.
Like, I'm sad that I can't take on more freelance, because the thing is, it's not even like I don't want to do the projects, I want to do all of the projects. Everything anyone ever contacts me about, I'm excited about and want to do. The problem is just the time. Like, I'm really battling against the time. I wish I had all the hours in the day to do all the projects, but each project takes so much time. Like, I could literally work full time on just one of the projects, any one of the projects.
Yeah.
But I can't do that and still be able to create content outside of that and still be able to handle 2 other freelance projects at the same time. So I have to say no, which is sad because I want to work on that stuff. It looks awesome.
Yeah. There was one project that India had to turn down that just kept re-entering her life.
Yeah, I worked on it a little with Yota a couple of weeks ago, which was fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I keep dipping into it and dipping out, but it keeps coming back, which is really nice. But I'm sad I had to turn down more shots on it from Yota because I didn't have time to work on it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't want to turn this stuff down. I think this stuff sounds awesome. I want to work on this stuff. I wish I could either just work super duper fast or had unlimited time in the day to do it.
Yeah.
Because I've done stuff like just say no, I can do it. I'm just gonna make myself do it. I'll just be good enough, and it's made me ill from working too much, so I stopped doing that. Craig, yeah, I think you try and do your best with every project and try and be a cool person to the clients, and they appreciate it. It helps that everyone in animation is super cool anyway. I haven't really had a bad experience with anyone yet. They've all been super nice, so that makes it much easier. Oh, Hardik, you're struggling with paper at the minute too. What's the problem for you? Yota it was more just the same project again. Tips. So I did one shot and they said, hey, would you be free to do this other shot? And I was like, that's the shot I really wanted to do, but I can't because I have other work I need to do. Hey, Savio! Holy crap! So MNF has received large amounts of money for commissions, but doesn't know if they've transferred. Conversion fees are nasty. That's why Coffee lets you set what currency to send to you. That's really helpful. Yeah. And yeah, Craig, never mind talking about this. If we can, like, make it easy for other people to get into animation and stuff and get work, then that's awesome.
Tibbs is laying on the salt. You did a shot and they got back to you? It's incredible.
Oh man, Tibbs, I don't know what happened. Like, I know that Jake is busy, but that's kind of crappy that they didn't get back to you. They should have got back to you. Especially if you've done, like, a test for them. The worst thing is when they don't get back to you when you've done a test for them. I did a test for Boom Comics back in January.
It would have been last year, I think.
Was it the end of December?
Yeah, I think so. Like, you were waiting to hear back from them when we were in Japan.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I did a test for Boom, like, back in November.
No, earlier than that, like September or October.
Okay. Anyway, I did a test for Boom, which was 2 comic pages, and I worked really hard on them. I sent them off, and they just didn't get back to me. And I had to send them, like, 2 emails to get a response. And the response was really nice, but still I was like, guys, like, I didn't get the job, by the way. They emailed me back to say, oh, we gave it to someone else. You weren't what we were looking for. And it's just kind of like, well, how hard is it to say that? Like, I've been hanging on, checking my emails every day for, like, the past 2 months. I, like, worked 4 days straight on those pages to try and make them really good for you.
Yeah.
I didn't even know if you'd received them. After being in contact so much to try and get me to send them to you, you suddenly went quiet as soon as I did. Which is, like, scary and horrible when you're an artist and you're like, oh my god, did my work really bad? So yeah, that sucks. They should have got back to you, Tibbs. That's only professional.
Yeah, happened with me recently as well. Sucked.
Yeah. Clients, get back to the people that you ask to do work for you. If you're going to contact someone and ask them if they will do work for you, have the decency to get back to them when they've done the work.
Hashtag not in my studio.
I think you've just had bad luck, Tibbs. But don't worry. I mean, this isn't... We're hoping that if we can somehow manage to sustain ourselves, we really want to hire some people to work with us, and you'll be one of them, Tibbs. But we can't do that until we can pay people fairly, because we wouldn't be hiring you without paying you properly for your work, and I mean, like, properly. So I think you've just had a string of bad luck, because your work is really good.
Saviers, did you guys get the round light thing? And did you guys watch the Incredibles 2 trailer?
What's the round light thing?
The ring light that we said our goal was.
Oh, no, we didn't. We changed our goal because we thought, you know, a mic is probably actually more urgent than the ring light. Even though I want to make Wiltwers and make them look better and look more professional. The thing which people say most to us is that our audio quality isn't always the best. So we changed our goals around, essentially, and decided to prioritise the mic instead.
So if you want to help us get a mic...
No!
No, seriously.
Don't like, pressure people. Like, it's there, people can see it. Yeah, they probably get a lot of mails, but I feel it's an obligation to get back to people quickly because artists freelancing need to know if they're booked or not. Yeah, exactly. Like, artists need to know so they can schedule their time. Like, that was... The Boom thing was something I had potentially lined up for January. And once that fell through, I didn't have that lined up for January anymore, which meant I was like, oh crap, okay. So, rent. Let's find something to make that happen.
Yeah.
Tips for whichever one of us gets funding first will hire the other. That's our pact. Like, I really, really want to get, at some point in the future, enough money to support people who are just, like, they're at that level where they are good enough to be hired but haven't been discovered yet.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to hire professionals. I want to hire people who, like, need stuff for their show reel, and that's basically it in order to get hired.
People who you see that are working hard and will work hard.
Yeah, I just want to give people awesome projects to work on. Like, if people want to work on awesome projects, I want to make awesome projects and then work with them on them, because that'd be awesome. Art pact. We should, like, both slash open an ink cartridge and then put it on our hands and then clasp hands together. Like Ink Brothers.
And then sign the document with the handprint.
Stick a handprint on a document.
Yeah.
You will get to hear our beautiful voices more beautifully. Like, the way I always imagine Mike and I's voices is just like the shrillest, most annoying blips and bloops and exclamations ever. But we appreciate it, Savio. Thank you. It's beautiful. But yeah, sorry about all the talk of Patreon and stuff. It's just because it's been on our minds recently.
Yeah.
But we don't mean to make the entire topic about it. Have we watched Zootopia? Yes, we have.
Yeah, a couple of times now.
Have we watched it a couple of times?
I feel like I've watched it at least twice.
I feel like I've only watched it once.
Maybe we should watch it again.
Who have you been watching it with? Who is this? Who is this other girl you've been watching it with?
You realise that sometimes I can watch movies on my own.
No, I don't realise this. I feel like it's a betrayal.
We do not use a pop filter. We're not close enough to the mic to pop.
No, that's true. We only have one mic, and it sits between us on a chair.
Yeah, this is literally our setup.
So we haven't needed to get one yet.
This is my chair. This is the back of my chair. This is my desk. This is me. Fuzzy hair. Tablet.
Signing ink or you stink.
Screens.
That's the best tagline. Oh, snitches get stitches. Signing ink or you stink.
This is a Swiftie.
Oh, thanks, Chris. I'm glad it's not so annoying. It's probably why we're always slightly quiet, is because we're both actually facing away from the mic the majority of the time. But there's no way with our current desk setup to have the mic facing one of us and not like facing both of us. The best we can do is to have one person really loud and the other person really quiet, or to have us both kind of quiet-ish. Sorry, says that's a good illustration.
Thanks.
Ooh, you're gonna get Toon Boom Essentials soon. Got any animation advice? In terms of animation advice, it'll be the same as I would give with any program. Like, remember your principles, work rough, get life and energy into it. Good key poses are important.
I think if you take the pots example of like trying to make one really good pot or lots of experimental parts. Try and do daily animation. Try and animate daily, but try and do different animations regularly. Like
Stretch yourself.
yeah,
Get out of your comfort zone. Do the stuff you don't think you can do.
good examples of that are like if you see Guzu from like a year ago, the stuff he was doing. I'm not saying jump in and start animating that thing, but the way he approaches animation is pretty cool. Where he keeps it rough, he keeps the it's all about the motion. The drawing's there, but it's all about like keeping the figure like it's almost like a dummy, so that he can animate faster and animate more stuff.
Try not to be. Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, to practice animating.
I was just going to say, don't be intimidated. Just do the stuff that you don't feel like you can do now. Do it as soon as you can, because there's no better way to learn than to find out where your limits are.
Yeah.
Hence why I'm doing this crazy thing that I regret doing.
You don't regret it, right?
Oh, I don't regret it. I don't regret it. It's just hard. It's just hard, Michael. We should head off, Steve, though.
Yeah.
Because it's way past time. I guess I got caught up in chatting.
No, it was good stuff.
I'm still trying to figure out how to animate water. We'll continue to try and figure out how to animate water. Next week, I may be doing some Girl on the Glyph animations, which will be really fun. This Secret Mana project is a project that's going to keep ticking along and along and along. So we're going to keep coming back to it every now and then.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Do you know what's out today?
What's out today?
Secret Mana.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
I really, really want to play it.
Awesome, Craig.
Oh, yes.
And do share those comments with us as soon as they're in a state to be seen.
But yeah, feel free to ask about Toon Boom any time of day. I mean, also lots of people in the chat are awesome at Toon Boom. I know it, so it's a good crowd to ask. Tibbs has got all the shortcuts. She's just revolutionised Savio's life.
Yeah, delete Kate. Just don't do it on the frame that you're currently working on.
Did you play the downloadable content? For the Hollow Knight? Because we started playing Grim Troop, but we hadn't finished it. And my favourite comic is probably... I really like Preacher. I think Preacher's great.
Preacher is awesome. Yeah.
Anywho, we'll catch you guys later. Thanks so much for joining us and chatting with us. It's been really nice. It's been a nice chill morning.
It's been really nice. Thank you very much. And we will catch you when we catch you.
Yes! And may the rest
of your day
be filled with
adventure.
adventure!
Take care, everyone.
Bye-bye.